Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome all of you to the lecture Advanced Software Engineering and Technology. Is this presentation visible to you? Is this presentation visible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the realism, verifiability, and traceability. This is also the properties of requirement elicitations. So, realism, verifiability, and traceability. Three more desirable properties of requirement specification are that it be realistic, verifiable, and the traceable. The requirement specification is realistic if the system can be implemented within a constraint. If we design a system within a constraint, then that system is realistic. There are three more: realistic, verifiable, and traceable. These are the properties for requirement specification. The requirement specification is realistic. There will be question. The requirement specification is filling the blank. If the system can be implemented within a constraint, if system is implemented, system is designed, system is ready with constraint, then we can say that system is the realistic system. The requirement specification is verifiable. If requirement specification is verifiable, if once the system is built, repeatable test can be designed to demonstrate that system fulfills the requirement specification, then that system is the verifiable. It is verifiable if system is built and repeatable tested. Suppose system is repeatable tested, then we can say that system is the verifiable. For example, a mean time to failure of hundreds year for SatWatch would be difficult to verify. Assuming it is realistic in the first place. Mean time to failure of hundreds year for SatWatch would be difficult to verify. Suppose you went at mountain and there is no connection to your SatWatch. For some duration, it will assume you are away from the your time zone from 1 hour. You are away from your time zone from 2 hours. That can be that can be predict by your SatWatch. But suppose your SatWatch connection loss more than hundreds of years, then that is the difficulty. So you have to write the realistic. There's your SatWatch will be fail if the connection will lose after hundreds of years. We cannot predict the time in that. Is it understand? Got it? The product shall have a good user interface. Good is not defined. The product shall be error free and require large amount of resource to establish. The product shall most to the user with 1 second. For the most cases is not defined. Like this, suppose we are giving the answers to the customer, then that is not the realism. The realism, the product shall have a good user interface. The following required additional example of the non-verifiable requirement. The product shall have good user interface. Good is not defined. Suppose we said the product which we are delivering, which we are providing software, it has good user interface, but good is not defined. Then this is a non-verifiable. We not verified. What is good? Good is not given. Suppose we are saying our software is good, but good is not explained. What is good? Then that is non-verifiable. We can say we have not verified it. The product shall be error-free. Require large amount of resources to establish. Suppose we want to give the product with error-free, and the product shall respond to the user within a second for most cases. It is not defined. Suppose we are explaining at the time of requirement elicitation, our software will respond within a second, but it is not tested. Then that is non-verifiable. That is non-verifiable. When it is verifiable, if we take the various tests and then find our system will respond within a second. If we use most cases, then that is not tested. Then it will be the non-verifiable. Got it? A requirement specification is traceable if each requirement can be traced throughout the software development to its corresponding system function, and if each system function can be traced back to its corresponding set of requirement, then that is the traceable. Traceable if each requirement can be traced throughout the software development corresponding system functions, then that is the traceable. And if each system function can be traced back to its corresponding set of requirement. Traceability includes also the ability to trace the dependencies among the requirement. It is also trace the dependencies among the requirement. Traceability includes ability to track the dependencies among the requirement, like system functions and intermediate design artifact, including system components, classes, methods, and object attributes. We will trace all these. Then that is the traceability. We can say it is traceability. Traceability is critical for developing the test and for evaluating the changes. When developing tests, traceability enables a tester to access the coverage of test case. That is to identify which requirements are tested and which are not. when developer tests, traceability enables tester. When it enables tester to assess the coverage of the test case, that is to identify which requirements are tested and which are not. When evaluating the changes, traceability enables the analysts and the developers to identify all component and system functions that change would be impact. When evaluating the changes, traceability enables analysts and developers to identify all component and system functions that changes would impact. On which component there will be impact, analyst and developer enables traceability to find the impact of the component, on which component will be impact, that we can find into the traceability. Are you getting my point? Traceability. Prajakta?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you have any doubt on realism, verifiability and traceability, you can ask me question. Realism means we have to add the properties into our requirement elicitation. Whenever you will acquire the information from customer, you will tell him our software will work like this. Suppose we are taking the example of satellite watch. Satellite watch will disconnect if we keep this satellite watch beyond the range of GPS for hundreds of years. Then our satellite watch will not display the appropriate time. That is the realism. If we say our watch will give within a second result without testing, then that is not verifiability, that is unverifiability. Verifiability means we have tested our software most of the time, means 10 times, 20 times we have tested and find out the result, our software will respond within a second, then that is the verifiability. And traceability, all components are executing properly within a time and they are interconnected to each other. Analyst as well as developer will find the connection, coverage of the function, one functions and another function. This is the traceability. If you have any doubt regarding realism, verifiability and traceability, you can ask question to me. Yes, do you have any problem? Prajakta?
No, sir.
Are you got this point? Realism, verifiability and traceability?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
These are the three most desirable properties of requirement specification. Okay, realistic, verifiable and traceability. Then we will see the next point: greenfield engineering, re-engineering and interface engineering. Requirement elicitation activity can be classified into three categories depending on the source of requirement. In greenfield engineering, the development start from the scratch. No prior system exists, so the requirements are extracted from the users and the client. Requirement extracted from users and clients. A greenfield engineering project is triggered by user need or the creation of new market. SatWatch is a greenfield engineering project. SatWatch is example of greenfield engineering project. And a re-engineering project is the redesign and re-implementation of existing system triggered by the technology enablers or by the business process, according to the Hammer and Champ in 1993's written these definitions. Sometimes the functionality of the new system is extended, but the essential purpose of the system remain the same. The requirement of the new system are extracted from the existing system is a re-engineering. If we extend, suppose you want to design a software and software is already existing into particular firm, particular company, but their company's demand to you, they want a new software because the old software is not supposed to the all component, all the functions of the user. At that time you will provide them new software, but the new software is based on the previous existing software, and you are minimizing the drawbacks of previous software, as well as you are adding some advanced technology into the existing software. Then that software is the re-engineering software. Here you will acquire the information from client also and the previous software also. Then that software we can say is the re-engineering. But greenfield engineering, the development start from the scratch. No prior system exists. Suppose there is a new software you are going to design. There not previous anybody design like this software, and you are starting the software to design that. You are acquiring the information to design this software from the client and from the users, but not from the existing systems, not from the some other companies. Then that software is the greenfield engineering. There huge demand to the greenfield engineering. We have to develop the greenfield engineering software, so there will be high demand into the market, because in market such type of softwares are not available. Then we can say that these softwares are the greenfield software. Greenfield engineering is the development started from scratch, no prior system, so the requirement are extracted from the users and client. A greenfield engineering project is triggered by a user's need or creation of new market. This greenfield software is designed for users need. Suppose some users demanding you a new software. In that case also we will design the greenfield engineering software, as well as we can design greenfield engineering project into the capture the new market. For capture the new market, we have to design the greenfield engineering software. Got it? Is there any doubt? Greenfield engineering and re-engineering. In re-engineering, we have to design the software based on the previous software, based on the previous existing project. Because of that project is not working properly, we are adding the new technology in the existing project. Then that is the re-engineering. Greenfield engineering is not that. greenfield engineering, suppose there is nothing and in that we are designing something. That project is the greenfield engineering project. If you have any doubt, any question regarding this point, you can ask. Greenfield engineering, re-engineering. There will be question in dash dash dash. The development start from the scratch. No prior system exists, so the requirement are extracted from the users and client. This will be questions will start from here. Do you have any question? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Next is the interface engineering. An interface engineering project is the redesign of the user interface of existing system. Redesign the user interface and existing system. The legacy system is left untouched except for its interface, which is redesigned and re-implemented. This type of a project is a re-engineering project in which the legacy system cannot be discarded without entailing high cost. Suppose we are redesigning project. We are re-engineering the project. In that we are following the all rules and regulation which are we followed in previous software, in previous system. We are not changing any rules. We are not touching to any rules, any legacy of the software of the project, but we are trying to change the interfaces because we want to add the new technology into the previous project. That is the interface engineering project. But in that case we are not using the very much amount, high costly component we will not add, then that is interface engineering. Just we are changing the interfaces. In both engineering, in both re-engineering and greenfield engineering, the developers need to gather as much information as possible for the application domain. In both cases, you have to acquire the information from the client as much as possible. Very much information you have to acquire from the client. In both cases, greenfield engineering also, as well as into the re-engineering software development also. This information can be found in procedures manual, documentation distribution to new employee, the previous system manual, glossaries, cheats and notes developed by the user and client interview. Note that although the interview with user are an interviewable tool, they fail to gather the necessary information if the relevant questions are not asked. For software development purpose, in both cases, greenfield engineering as well as re-engineering, we have to take the information from previous software's manual, from employee which are working on the previous software, previous project, from users, from cheats. There suppose some cheats written by employee, from the sheets if developer provided the previous software manual, if there are some sheets, or suppose user and client created some sheet related to the previous software, from that sheets we can take the information, we can acquire the information, as well as from the notes which are written by the users in existing software. And the client's interview, user as a developer, we have to take the interview of the client and user to gather the information, to elicitate the information, to collect the information. Note that although the interviews with user are an invaluable tool, interview is invaluable tool because they fail to gather necessary information if the relevant question are not asked. Suppose you not ask a relevant question to the user, to the client will not give you a proper information, that will be fail to gather the necessary information. Whenever it will be fail, your software will be fail, your software will not work as you want, as client want, because there is the miscommunication, misinformation you have collected. In that case your software will not work. In both cases, greenfield engineering and re-engineering, you have to follow the manuals, you have to follow the employee notes, you have to follow the glossaries, cheats, sheets, and the notes which the users as well as previous developer created. And take the interview of the users and client with relevant information, with relevant question. Developer must first gain a solid knowledge of the application domain before direct approach can be used. Before directing approach to the software development, you have to gain the solid knowledge, good number of knowledge, appropriate information you have to acquire from the client, from the developers, so that then you have to direct to the software development, so your software will be a good software. Do you have any question on this point? Greenfield engineering, re-engineering, and interface engineering. There will be a question, long question, explain the greenfield engineering, or explain the re-engineering, or there will be write a short note on re-engineering, interface engineering. In interface engineering, we have to re-engineer the project, but we have to follow all the rules, regulation which are existing into the previous system. We have to not touch to the rules, just we have to change the software capabilities, project capabilities, without harming the existing previous legacy rules. Got it? Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
If you have any question,
Yes, sir.
yes, if you have any question, any doubt regarding this point, you can ask. Greenfield engineering, re-engineering, and interface engineering. Ashwini, Suraj, Swati, Jyoti.
Yes, sir.
If you have any doubt, you ask question.
No, sir.
Then next is the requirement elicitation activities. requirement elicitation activities. There is identifying actors. First activity is identifying actors, identifying scenario, identifying use cases, refining use cases, and identifying relationship among the actors and use cases, identifying initial analysis objects, identifying non-functional requirement. All these are the requirement elicitation activities. Identifying actor, identifying scenario, identifying use cases, refining use cases, identifying the relationship among the actor and use cases, identifying the initial analysis object, and identifying non-functional requirement. First is the identifying actors. Actors represent external entity that interact with the system. All the activities which suppose externally represent that activities, we can say that these entities we can say actor. An actor can be a human. Actor can be human. We have already discussed a little bit about this. Or external system. Or external system. Suppose you are going to design a system and this system will be depends upon the other system, then that other system will be actor, as well as the human who will start this system, that human is also external entity, means actor. In the SatWatch example, the watch owner, SatWatch example, watch owner is the actor, because human is the external watch user is the external entity of watch, as well as the GPS satellite is external part, and the Webify watch is also required. Serial device are actors required to update the software. Here are three actors: first, second, and third. First is the watch user, second satellite, GPS satellite, and third is the Webify net. All these are the actors in the SatWatch project. You see the diagram. Figure shows watch owner is the actor, then GPS and Webify watch. This is the SatWatch, this is the system, and beyond this system there are some external entities related to the SatWatch, so we can say these are the actors. In figure 4.4, actors for the SatWatch system, the watch owner moves the watch possible across the time zone. This watch user will move the watch from the one time zone to the another time zone and consult it to know what's the time it is and see the time. Then SatWatch interact with the GPS If he will around, he will cross the boundaries of the time zone, then this GPS will trace him. Then it is also a external entity, we can say a actor. Webify watch upgrade the data contained in the watch to reflect the change in time policy. Suppose the time is somewhat changing, so to upgrade that, their Webify watch, this will connect to the sat watch. This is also external entity, so we can say this is also the actor. Example, change in the daylight saving time, start at end date. You know, the time changes up to 1 to 24. After 24 again it came back at 1. Similarly, to change that, we have to require here in satellite watch one software. This software we can upgrade through connect to the Webify watch, our sat watch to Webify watch. Is it getting? Yes, Suraj.
Yes, sir.
If you have any doubt to
Yes, sir.
identifying actor, you can ask me question. Identifying actors. If you have any doubt regarding this point, this figure, you can ask me question. Identifying actors represent external entities that interact with the system. Actors represent the external entities that interact with the external system. And actor can be human or the external system. You have to keep in mind, actor can be human, actor can be machine, actor can be object, actor can be system. How much actors are here in this SATWAS system? How much actors are here?
3.
3 actors. Which are these? Which are these 3 actors? Yes, anybody can say.
GPS,
Yes,
Webify watch,
Webify watch and
watch owner.
watch owner. Okay, these 3 actors are in this diagram because these 3 entities, external entities, required to use this watch. This watch owner is required to use this watch. This GPS required to select the time zones, and Webify to upgrade the software, to update the software. This Webify watch actor is required. Note, however, that they all have a specific interaction with SatWatch. The SatWatch owner wears and looks at her watch. The watch motion monitors the signal from the GPS satellites. The Webify watch download a new data into the watch. Actors define classes of the functionality. Actors define the classes of functionality. There are 3 classes: watch owners, GPS, 3 watch owners, GPS and Webify watch. Consider a more complex example. Another example is here, friend. A friend is a software, a distributed information system for accident management. This is the software for accident management. We can say a distributed information system. Distributed information system. FRIEND is a distributed information system for accident management, which is given into the Berg's book, which is written in 1994. It includes many actors. In this FRIEND software, there are many actors. Sorry. It includes many actors such as field officer who represent the police. Field officer is the police, and fire officer who are responding to a incident. Police officer, fire officer is another actor, and dispatcher is the third actor. There are 4 actors: field officer, fireman, dispatcher. The police officer responsible for answering the call 911 and dispatching resources to an incident. This is the online accident management system, distributed information system for management of the accident. Suppose somewhere the accident takes place, anyone can call to the policeman on to the number 911. In India, which is the number to call the police? Which is the number? Yes, I have a question to you. For help of the police, which number we have to dial?
100.
100. And for Damini Patak? Do you know the Damini Patak's number? Yes? Anyone can tell? Do you know the Damini Patak's number? I think. Is it correct? Yes. Suraj?
Yes, sir.
Do you know the Mini Patak's number?
No, sir.
Okay. But this is example taken from the book of the Bergs, and this there is the software, FRIEND software. We can use this software for the accident management. In this software, there are field officer who responds to the call 911. If we call on the number 911 as a external entity, means actor, we will be one actor to call. We will initiate the procedure, and that procedure will reach to the officer, field officer, means police. He will respond. After that, he will tell to the fire officer and dispatcher. The FRIEND supports both actors by keeping track of the incident, resources, and task plan. This FRIEND software keeping track of the incident as well as resources. We require resources. Suppose there a big accident happened of a car or bus, then to dispatch that we require some resources. Dispatcher required some resources. We required their fire fire officer, suppose there's some fire started to, there requires fire tank, and this friend software project can plan all these tasks. It is also has access to multiple databases. It has access of multiple databases such as hazardous material database and emergency operation procedure like hospital. In this friend there is the hospital's number. What is the hospital's emergency number? Do you know?
108.
108.
Ambulance number.
Hmm?
Ambulance number, sir.
Okay. So this number is into the database of the hospital, but that is connected to the friend software for the emergency purpose. Again, there are some hazardous. To suppose there is a gas leakage problem or some bomb spot problem, like this information is also available into the friend software. The field officer and dispatcher actors interact through the different interfaces. They are both different persons, so they are interact with different interfaces. The field officer access the friend through a mobile personal assistant. Field officer access the friend software through the mobile assistance, means from remote place he will access the friend, and dispatcher access the friend through the workstation. This friend is at the dispatcher. You see this example, this is the system, friend is the system, and these are two external entities, field officer and dispatcher. A figure actor of the friend system. Field officer not only have access to different functionality, they use different computer to access the system. Just it has not only the access of system, it has different computers access. Actors are role abstractions and do not necessarily direct map to person. The same person can fill the role of field officer or dispatcher at different time. We already seen one actor, one person can form the role of two persons, two actors. Dispatcher and field officer may perform a single person. They use different computer to access the system. The first step to requirement elicitation is the identifying of actors. First step into the requirement elicitation is the identifying actors. These serve both to define the boundaries of the system and to find all respective forms. I think we have to stop here. We will see in next lecture detail about the actors. Okay. If you have any doubt, any question
sir.
regarding the greenfield engineering, re-engineering and interface engineering, as well as realism, verifiability and traceability, you can ask me question. Yes, Rahul.
No, sir.
Realism, verifiability and traceability. Verifiability means software should be tested more time, then we can say that is verified. Realism, all the constant, all the rules of the software should follow, means all functions should work properly. Traceability, if you want to find the functions directly, we have to reach to that function, then that is the traceability. As a developer, we have to reach to the function. Suppose we want to reach to the we want to find the function number 3 in coding, we have to go to there. As well as a user, suppose user wants to stop the function, third function, then he should be able to stop that. That is the traceability. Greenfield engineering means new software. The software is not existing in the world. You are creating that software. That software is the greenfield software. Re-engineering, revising the previous project, revising previous software. And interface engineering, just changing the interfaces without touching to the rules, without touching to the previous software's rule. That is interface engineering. Is it okay? Shall we stop here? Yes. If you have any question, any doubt, you can ask me question.
सर तुम्ही ते मायक्रोसॉफ्ट टीमवर असाइनमेंट मध्ये काय टाकलेलं आहे?
I have added one test. You have to respond today. There are 5 questions, objective type of questions. You have to write. These questions answer is in today's lecture. Okay?
सर आजच द्यायचे का ते? आजच द्यायची का ते?
Yes. There are only 5 questions. Objective type
Okay,
questions.
ERP वर आहे का?
I will send you personal link. All of you will get link of that.
आजच करायचं आहे का ते?
Okay.
सर लिंक कशावर आहे?
Okay, bye. Have a nice day.